How has it been another year? It's that time of year again where all of the clubs are releasing at least their home kits. I don't have every single kit available. Some clubs still haven't released their away kit, third kit, but most clubs I think have two now. But in this video, and it's a yearly video, I'm going to review the home kits and pick out my favourites. And I'm doing it on my own this time. And I've listed all of the clubs down the left side, and each time I go through one of the kits, I'm going to give a review out of 10. Last season, I remember it being a little bit underwhelming, and I remember the season before that, it was one of the best seasons. And I'm going to say this right now, this season, whew, there are some absolute beauties. And of course, starting with Arsenal, we are in order. And again, Arsenal have smashed it. I've got to say, I was very unsure about the blue when I first saw the leaks of this kit, but the more I see it, the more I love it. And I've got to say, Arsenal always do good kits. When was our last bad kit? At least with Adidas, I don't think we've had one. They've always been really good. And this year, again, very solid. But it isn't my favourite. It isn't, genuinely. And I think a lot of people would have assumed that, as usual, I'm going to rate Arsenal very highly. And I am, but it is not my favourite. So what I need to do is make it so I can type. So we're going to go with an 8 out of 10 for Arsenal. It's a really, really nice kit. However, I don't like the back side of it so much. And there's a gap with this Adidas template that they're using between the shorts and the top. There's a gap. Unless you fill it with the same colour, it can look a little bit odd. I'm not saying it looks odd in this case, but I know other kits that have got this template. There just seems to be this big divide, a chunky divide, and I'm not a big fan of that. But it's a very, very solid kit. Really, really nice. Up next, we have Aston Villa. This is a nice kit. I believe if I flash up the Arsenal one on top, it's pretty much the same kind of template. A little bit of a different collar, and the main colour fills out the entire front. It's a nice kit. I don't like the orange on the sponsorship here, and I don't like how big the badge is compared to the Adidas badge. If you look at the Arsenal one, it kind of fits a little bit better. And I'm going to say this right away, and I know a lot of clubs are going to struggle with their review with me for this, but I don't like betting companies being the sponsorship. But I get it. They pay a lot of money. And look, Emirates isn't perfect. No sponsorship is ideal, really. It's just, I think some look better than others, and they're not as shady and dodgy. Betano, whoever they are, all the betting companies cause so much harm to people that are preyed upon, and I don't like that. What am I reviewing this one? I'm going to go with a 7, purely because I don't like the orange, and I don't like Betano, even though it looks quite nice there. It's a nice looking logo. Just don't like betting sites. And the colours aren't my favourite, but that's just Aston Villa's colour. I think 7 is very fair. I need to move on a bit more quickly, otherwise we're going to be here forever. Bournemouth. I will say this now, their away kit is so much nicer. And also, the sponsor, look, I'm trying to be grown up about this, but it's just obvious. BJ88, no. Umbro is stinky, never liked Umbro, and I think it's just a bit, I don't know, there's not enough. It's just so bland. This is a really weak kit. I'm giving it a 5. It's not the worst, but it definitely isn't the best. It's a stinker. Sorry, Bournemouth, not a fan. Away kit, though, really like that one. Brentford, it's the same kit. It's literally the same kit. It wouldn't have surprised me if they just said, yeah, don't worry, guys, we're using the same kit as last year, but if you want to support the club, buy the new shirt. It looks exactly the same, and it's ugly. It's a 4. It's a 4 out of 10. I absolutely hate this star. I hate that it's a betting site. I don't like Umbro. I've already said it. I think the Umbro badge just looks so archaic. Honestly, Umbro, if you want to take your brand higher, because it ain't happening naturally, in my opinion, Umbro are just dead. Redesign your logo. Do something fresh, because it's ugly. The only thing I actually really like about this shirt is the fade into the black with these dots. I think that's really nice. We've got Brighton up next. This is a really nice kit. I think it's simple enough, but also has enough going on to make it stand out a little bit. There's only so much you can do with stripes. I understand that, but I like the pinstripes in the stripes. I like the fact that they are gradients as well. I'm not a big fan of the colour of American Express, looking a little bit different, but hey, at least it's not a gambling site. It's a nice kit. It is. I'm going to go with a 7 for this one. I like it. I like the blue, and Brighton have done a really good job with that one. Chelsea up next. What is that? What is that? Genuinely, it's like they've dropped it into a paint bucket and just swirled it around a bit. Yeah, that'll do. The reflective badge as well. Sorry, it's disgraceful. I'm going to give it a 5 because I think it's better than Brentford's. I'll give them that, and it does have a sponsor for some reason. All of the pictures I found, the sponsor just the picture was teeny. Maybe it's clear out there, but it's not a good kit. I like the blues. I like the different shades of blue, and I do like it's brave. They're trying something different, and they have been for a while now. But honestly, bring back the days of Chelsea and Samsung. They had some nice kits then. I'm not a fan of that one at all. I think 5 is quite generous, actually. Crystal Palace, we do have a side-on view, but it's the best picture I could find. This is a very cool kit, but I hate the sponsor. I don't like the story behind it. If you want to read more about it, go ahead. But I really like the pattern. I love how the red isn't just a stripe. It's almost like a pattern. It's almost like an airspray effect, isn't it? Really nice. And all of the Crystal Palace Eagles in behind. It's a really nice kit. I like this one. I don't know what rating to give it, though. I think it's probably a 7. No, we're going to go 6 because of the sponsor. I'm not going to go into it in this video, but there's a lot of clubs that have taken sponsors that I don't agree with. Wolves is another one. We'll talk about them. And they're basically non-existent companies, and it's a way of clubs inflating their income. Basically, these companies out of nowhere from whatever country investing hundreds of millions into the club, and they've got like 2 followers on Twitter. It's so obviously wrong, and I hate it. But it's a nice kit. Everton, really, really simple but effective kit. I'm somewhat impartial about Castor, however you say it. Stake isn't the greatest company to have representing your club, if I'm being honest. But I do like the pattern, although if they did accidentally design with a few more colours in mind, they would have had a bus seat. I like the white perforation holes here. Anti-sweat technology, whatever you want to call it. But I like the collar as well. I get like a retro feel, but also the modern feel as well. I think Everton have done a pretty good job here. I'm going to go with a 6 as well. I'd say that's on par with Crystal Palace. I do like Everton's blue. The blue they use is really nice. Moving on to Fulham. Fulham, who always have nice kits. I've liked Fulham for a while. Yeah, I like this one. I think it's good that they've matched the red on the sleeve here. I like the badge. Fulham's badge is just nice. I've always liked it. I don't know much about the sponsor here. Is it a betting sponsor? Something tells me it might be, so I can't give credit there. I might be wrong, but it is a nice kit, isn't it? It is. It's a really nice kit. I think this is a 7 for me. But Fulham, for me, over the last few years, have had really nice away kits as well. And I remember their pink kit was beautiful. So big fan of Fulham's kits, and this is another good one. Smith Rowe better have an amazing season in it. That's what I'm waiting for. We've got newcomers Ipswich up next. Can I just say the Umbro thing looks better when it's like this. I quite like the middle being red there. It's just different. Ed Sheeran, of course, sponsoring the kit this year, like he's done for a while. I quite like the badge being inside this crest. I think that's nice. I like the collar and the sleeves being dark blue, and then the rest here being blue. The pinstripes are really nice. It's a solid kit, but it's nothing special. I think, being fair here, it's a 6. It's above average, but it's not phenomenal. On to Leicester. I've always liked their kits as well. And can I just say, I'm glad they're back in the Prem. It's ridiculous to me that less than a decade ago, they were winning the league and then they were in the Championship. They are going to get a points deduction as far as I can see. But it's a nice looking kit. Not a fan of the sponsor. I'm guessing this is some sort of Bitcoin thing, cryptocurrency. No, not happy with that at all. I really hope we crack down on these things. I know they're worth a lot of money to these clubs, but we have to figure a way to support clubs and not let them take these sponsorships from cryptocurrency, gambling, any shady businesses. And I'm not talking about any club specifically here, because every club is guilty of taking money where they probably shouldn't. Let's all just, remember that. I think this is also a 6. It's just above average, but only just. It's a better sponsor, and this is a top tier kit. I do like the new Adidas, just the 3 lines. I really like that. Liverpool up next. Oof. It's bad. It's really bad. What is with the yellow design? I don't know. What even is that? Am I missing something here? Is it some sort of famous thing in Liverpool? Some sort of building? It's awful. It's like iron framework. I hate it. I think this might be just as bad as the Brentford one. The only thing that I think keeps it somewhat alive in my head, somewhat okay, is the yellow Nike and the yellow badge. I love their badge there. I really like that. Yellow is my favorite color, so it maybe I'm a bit biased, but this is 4. It's shocking. It is an absolutely revolting kit. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. But the redeeming value is the yellow. Ugh. Okay. Good one. Unfortunately, City, again, doing very well with their kits. And it's funny, really, because Puma, in my opinion, Puma makes some of the worst kits. We've had some howlers from Puma, including at Arsenal. We had Puma for a while, and they were some of our worst kits. But with City, I don't know what it is. They seem to pull it off. This is one of City's best kits in a while, to be fair. It's not my favourite, but it's definitely up there. I didn't even realise it was numbers. What is the 0161U? What is that? 0161. Trying to work out what that means, and I have no clue. Do City have any history? I'm kidding, obviously. This is a solid 7. It's right up there. It's not as good as the Arsenal kit, which is still winning. It won't be. But I really like this kit. I think I have a thing for that blue anyway. That kind of baby blue, sky blue colour. I do like it. But this might surprise some of you guys. This United kit is one of my favourites. I absolutely love this kit. It's so nice. It is a really, really good looking kit. I think it's quite similar to the Arsenal design with the Adidas and the club logo. I think one thing that Arsenal has over it is the fact that it's white and white. I think if the Man United badge was actually just white, I know they wouldn't do that, especially not on the home kit, but I love that gradient at the bottom. I love the slightly lighter kind of salmon pink red going up the side. I love the collar. Oh my God, it's a really good kit. It's an 8. It just is. I told you Arsenal wasn't my favourite. It's joint top. This Man United kit is the best one they've had in years. I really like it. Newcastle up next, and it's another really strong kit. Let down by the sponsor and let down by this ugly yellow box on the side, but otherwise, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful kit. It really is. Again, there's a story behind this, whatever brand it is, seller. Is this meant to be an A on its side? I genuinely don't know, but when you read into it, again, it's shady. It's shady business, but it's a really nice kit. I'm going 7. 7 out of 10 for the Newcastle. Obviously, if you want to get your ratings down below, I'd love to read through them and see what you guys think. Up next, we've got Nottingham Forest. I couldn't find a great picture of it. It's a really nice kit. I do like it, but why have Kayun and then Kayun.com right underneath? If this was just bigger and they have Kayun.com underneath, so much better. I mean, basically, if it looked like this, the logo in the middle and then the name, the fact that they've got Kayun and then Kayun.com is so pointless. Even if they just did Kayun and then .com bigger, would have looked really cool. I'm getting kind of like Special K vibes here. I'm guessing Kayun is a gambling site. I don't know for sure. Get rid of that sponsor, and this is one of my favourite kits, but it's getting docked points because of the sponsor. I think the Newcastle one is slightly nicer, in my opinion, so I'm going to give Nottingham Forest a 6. Up next, we've got Southampton. Another Bitcoin sponsor, but otherwise, it's a nice kit. I love the thick black and then the thick stripes. I like the collar. The Puma badge works nicely here, although I think it's slightly off-center. I think it might need to be moved. And although it's not a good sponsor to have, it does look nice. It suits the kit quite well. This is a strong kit. It actually is. I'm going to give this one a 6 out of 10. If I could give Nottingham Forest a 6.5, I would actually, but I'm not doing 0.5s. I would say Forest is just slightly better than this one. Up next, we've got Tottenham. It's just boring. It just does nothing for me. The best thing they could do is either change sponsor or have that in blue. I don't know why it needs to be red. Well, I know why it has to be red, because they want it to stand out, and I understand that. And it's weird, really, because, again, it's quite similar to the Brentford kits. I mean, honestly, is that last season's kit? Is that last season's kit? It looks so similar. And I'm not being biased. I just think Tottenham kits are pretty boring. It's a very simple template, and they don't add anything to it. Their away kit, or whatever kit it was, the kind of like galaxy themed one, was so cool. This is just so boring. Not good. But is this my favorite kit coming up? Oh, it might be up there. Oh, I love this kit. I love this kit so much. I'm not a fan of the green logo they've got on the sleeve. Get rid of that, and this is such a solid kit. Betway, not a fan, of course, but at least with Betway, it's become more common. Like, you see Betway everywhere. But it's the badge. Shame it's Umbro, though. Yeah, see, having gone through all the other kits now properly, it isn't as high as I thought. It's just a nice kit, though. It is. I'm going to give it a 7. Oh, but I should dock it points for the green and the sponsor. I'm going to have to. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to have to. It's a 6. Simply not on Man City, Newcastle, Fulham, Brighton, Aston Villa's level. And, of course, it's not on Man United's and Arsenal's level. And they're 10 out of 10. And then 8 out of 10. And then, last but not least, we have a Sudo kit. Oh, Wolves. It's a shame, actually, because I love the badge in the middle. It's one of my favourite things that some kits have when their badge is in the middle. Who is Sudo? And Wolves took a massive risk this season. There was massive blowback from this. Debet, whoever that is, DE-Bet, shell company, for sure. They're not real. It's just not a real company, and somehow they're investing hundreds of millions or whatever it is over a few seasons. Yeah, sure. Load of rubbish. Unfortunately, I still really like the colours, and I do like the template, like the design of it. Who is Sudo? Sudu. S-U-D-U. Never heard of them. It's a 6. No, it's a 5. Has to be. I hate how shady those sponsorship things are. So, are there any changes I want to make? Is the Brentford and the Liverpool kit the worst? Yes. Just for clarification, these are the two... Oops, wrong one. These are the two that I hate the most. It's just hideous. What are they doing? Oh, my God, Liverpool. And Brentford's is just boring. It's just the same every... It's just such an uninspiring kit. It's ugly. Bournemouth really poor as well. Such an ugly kit. I think the winner has to be either Manchester United or Arsenal. And I feel bad saying Arsenal just because, well, it's my club, but I think United win it. I think United have the best kit this season. Is that crazy? Maybe it is. But we'll do away kits next, and then eventually when all the third kits are out, we'll do that one as well. But there is my list. Make sure you let me know yours below. Who is your favourite club kit this year? What's the worst? and why is it Liverpool? But again, quite a solid year. On average, we're looking at 6s and 7s, which I think is pretty high.